Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl EbonyB here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another video. I am so happy to be able to bring this video to you guys. I am finally, as you can see by the title, doing a review for the Fenty Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Concealers and the powders. I know that it's rare that I start videos off, you know, with my finished face, so I figured to switch it up and let you all see what the finished look is gonna look like. I'm just really happy to be able to bring this to you guys. I was so excited. This look I absolutely love. I mean, in a way, it's kind of cliche. I really hope that this video is beneficial to some of you, especially those who may be in the same shade range as I am, 420, 410, around that area. Definitely hoping that this will help you in any kind of way possible on whether or not to make a decision. I know we have like 50 million other videos on YouTube that you could be watching, but that's why I'm very grateful that you all stopped by to see this video. Definitely make sure you let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Of course, I'll remind you that at the end of this video as well, because I just like to make sure I remind you guys. I will share my final thoughts on all the products used at the end of the video. Also, make sure to check the description box, because I always put additional information in the description box, whether it be prices, where you can find products, some facts I found out after the fact, you know, just little stuff here and there. So definitely make sure you check the description box. And last but not least, to the people who are new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. If you are a returner, thank you for stopping by again. I hope you all enjoy this video, and I'm gonna stop talking your heads off and we can get right into this video. Alright guys, so starting off with this makeup look for today, I'm just gonna get right into it. And I really don't want to hit you all with 1,000,001 facts, because we all know that there are about 50 million videos on YouTube right now that can fill you in with all the juicy details about Fenty Beauty. But I did want to point out, they did expand their foundation lines. They originally dropped 40 shades, I believe, and now there are a total of 50 shades. So they added 10 more shades onto their foundation line, along with this launch of the instant retouch concealers and powders and all that good stuff. So that's really good. Fenty Beauty was already, to me personally, one of the top on the charts for just a really expanded line of makeup and a lot of options. They have really good quality makeup. It's not like, you know, they're throwing out all of these shades and we really are struggling to find our shades out here. No, I think they actually take their time and make quality stuff. Rihanna is doing her thing, okay? Her Thug Dizzle, you know what I'm saying? Thug Riri, I see you. I see you. Now that we have 50 foundations, they also provided us with 50 concealers. 50 Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Concealers. I think that is more than enough. I think if you do not find the concealer that works for you under this line, you are you're being complicated, and I don't really appreciate it. But we'll get back to you later. We're just gonna let you do your thing over there, because that's a lot of foundations, that's a lot of concealers. I really just don't see where anyone should run into any issues. But getting into this eye look, I'm going to be using the Tarte Cosmetics Shape Tape Concealer as my primer for today. I use the Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Tan Sand, and it actually does a really good job as a eye concealer slash primer. I have a quick question, like how many people actually prefer to prime their eyes with just a regular eye primer versus using a concealer? I think my thing about concealers is I like the fact that I have a lighter base to work with, so I'm more than confident that the colors that I'm choosing to place on my eye are gonna stand out. And I feel like just using a primer, I don't get that kind of secure feeling, like if I decide to go in with a certain shade that might not be the most pigmented. Alright, so while I was out picking up all of these goodies for Fenty Beauty, I was actually really excited to be able to pick up the Fenty Beauty Moroccan Spice eyeshadow palette. I'm super late on this, but what else is new? This is a late video. I'm gonna be late. We're late on everything. Sue me. Sue me later. I really love the colors in here. I think, you know, these colors are good for any kind of occasion. I'm going to be going in with, I think this is the shade Come and Get It. Yep, this is really the closest shade to use as a transition shade. All right, so after adding that transition shade, I'm going to be going back into this palette, and I'm going to be grabbing the shade Shisha Smoke. But I'm going to go ahead and follow up behind that transition shade using that on a different brush, which is the Morphe M433 brush. And so far, I will say the way that they appear in the actual palette is how they are coming off when I'm applying them. And how many of you all prefer the swiping method rather than the packing it on and then blending it in? I personally don't have a preference really, but I do find myself kind of like swiping a lot more and then like doing a little swirly thing. And I always work from the corner of my outer lid inward. I don't know, I just felt like using that method helped me get really good at using eyeshadow, because you all know, unless you're new to my channel, I used to be garbage. What I want to do now is go in with the shade Fez Up. That's like a purple matte shade in here. And I'm gonna use that same brush. Of course I cleaned it off. And I'm gonna take a little bit of that, and I kind of want to blend that over top of that gray. Do I look raccooning it for you? All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead in with the shade Sock It To Me. I feel like it's a really deep ashy blue. I'm just going to pop that on the corners of my lid. All right, so this is what we are looking at so far. So now for this center lid shade, I'm gonna go ahead and pop this nice blue in the palette. It's called Evil Genie. Why does Genie always have to be blue? Are genies normally blue? Like, I just feel like blue is like the image of genies for some reason. I don't really know why. It's weird. Every time I think of genie, I think of blue. Who told me that a genie is supposed to be blue? Oh, Aladdin. Duh, that's where I'm getting it from. Okay, anyways. Oh, this is so pretty. Oh my gosh. Now this shade should have been called Sock It To Me. Okay, so this is what the eye look is looking like right now. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of Sock It To Me to the outer corners again, just to kind of give the look a little bit more depth. I don't want to overdo it though, because I don't want to like black it out. And honestly, I feel like I need to go back in a little bit with Fez Up. I love how Fez Up and blue kind of really complement each other. All right, so now for my bottom lid, I'm going to be using Sock It To Me, and I'm just going to be placing Sock It To Me on the outer portion of my bottom lid. And then I'm going to take Evil Genie, and I'm just going to close that inner part of my lid, bottom lid, out. All right, so this is what the eye look is looking like so far. I really love this all blue look. This is so pretty. That's all I'm going to be doing with this palette as of right now. I will come back at the end to finish the eye look completely using this palette. But I'm going to go ahead and move on to my eyeliner. I like to go in with my NYX Epic Ink Liner just because of the felt tip. I just feel like I have a lot more control. So now I'm going to go in with my NARS Climax Mascara. The lashes that I'm going to be applying are from the Vegas Nay collection. But I'm going to go ahead and apply them off camera, and I'll come back and move on to the face. Now, like I said before, I'm really late on the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Primer. This has been out since the foundation release, and I've just been putting it off. As you can see, I got a sample size just because, I mean, I have a lot of primers, and I'm pretty sure I won't be using this primer all the time. I really like this primer. I really like the slight blurring effect that it has, but that's really what it does. It kind of like helps give you that pre-blur before applying the foundation. You know something I was randomly thinking about? When people like see my nails and they're just like, oh my gosh, your nails are so long. How do you even do anything with them? And I'm just like, I just do it. Now I'm gonna go in with my Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Foundation. I am in the shade 420. And those of you who don't own this foundation, this retails at a price of $34. I'm just gonna go ahead and put the prices in the description box below of all of the Fenty Beauty products that I'm using. So if I forget to mention any, or if I just stop mentioning them after this, it'll be in the description box below. Now, along with picking up a lot of other things, I also went and bought one of their, well, actually I bought two of their brushes. One of the brushes is going to be the foundation brush. I bought this because I didn't really want to use a sponge. And plus, I didn't own any Fenty brushes the first time around, so I figured why not just pick them up and see how they perform. Brushes are really soft. This is a pretty dense brush for a foundation brush, which is pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and apply the foundation to my hand first. The thing about this foundation that I also want to point out is that it does dry pretty quick, so I'm just gonna work on one side of my face at a time. And let's see what it does with this brush. All around, I just feel like Rihanna was just mainly going for foundation that does not look too cakey, the natural look, because we all know that Rihanna is more so like a natural beauty kind of person. Like, she doesn't wear a lot of makeup. Pretty much what you're getting with this foundation. I don't know if you all can tell as I'm applying it, this still looks like my skin. It just looks like it cleared up my blemishes, basically. I would recommend this to anyone who is not looking for cakey foundation or just want something lightweight. This is definitely a lightweight foundation. You will not be uncomfortable in this foundation, or at least you shouldn't be, unless you have dry skin, because this is a very mattifying foundation. All right, so this is what we're looking at with that foundation covered. I probably would say I put about 2 or 3 layers of this foundation on, and this is what 2 or 3 layers is looking like. I still feel like it looks like my skin. It looks pretty natural to me, and as long as it looks natural, we're good. Now for the concealers, I picked up 2 shades, and I also want to just put out here that I did look at reviews before purchasing these products, so I kind of knew and got a feel of what to pick up. I didn't really intend to do a first impression video for this, just because I was so late getting to it, and I know we have like a whole bunch of other first impressions. So I did look at some videos. I do look at Jackie Aina as a reference, and the 2 shades that she picked out, and she is also 420. The 2 shades she picked out was the shades 410 and 420. Well, technically she got a PR package, so she didn't pick out anything, but she did make clear in the video that the 410 was pulling off a lot more neutral on her than golden, or having any kind of golden in it. So for some reason, whenever she says that, I feel like that's where I need to go, because Jackie Aina, she has a lot more golden tones in her undertone than I do, even though I do use her as a reference. So normally if she's saying that something is either not gold enough, it could most likely fit me the best. I just wanted to clear that out for you guys. So I went ahead and picked up both 420 and 410. Now these concealers are supposed to complement the foundation shade. So if you are 410 in the foundation, you would want to use 410 as a concealer, or if you wanted to go lighter than 410, you definitely could, but 410 would be the compatible concealer to the 410 foundation. 410 does work on me very, very well, and I probably would use 410 over 420. However, I would keep 420 and use it for days where I probably want to do like a makeup, no makeup kind of look, or just a really light natural beat. So what I'm going to do is apply 420 to my face, just let you guys see what I'm talking about, and then I'm going to go behind it with 410 and just let you all see the magic happen with that. I originally purchased the Fenty Beauty blending sponge with the first launch of the foundations, but I could not find it, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and pick up a sponge or whatever when I go out, and along with some brushes. I figured I'd pick some brushes up too. And so I go and I just pick up the first box I see. I don't even read it or anything. I'm just like, okay, sponge in the bag. I get home and I'm like, what is this? Like, I don't even, what is it? Like, what is this? Like, I mean, I understand it's sponges, but look how small this is. Sheesh. I can only hope that it gets a lot bigger when I get it wet. This is the sponge. And this is, I guess, part 2 of the sponge, which I'm honestly not really sure why there's 2. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to wet one of them just to see how big it gets. Like, oh my gosh, this is like a little egg. But I'm going to go ahead and wet this, and I'll come back and we'll get right into this concealer application. All right, so I went ahead and wet the sponge. This is the size that it kind of swolled to. So I can see if I can put them side by side, but this is the difference in the sizes once you wet it. I'm going to go ahead and give the sponge a try. I did not give it a try the previous time I tried these products out. Now I'm just going to go ahead and apply the shade 420. Also, I've been working on, you know, my concealing methods for my face. I did see a comment on a previous video that I did a while back, and someone said I used too much concealer, or they felt I used too much concealer. I really do take your comments into consideration. I do take them as constructive criticism. I try not to take it as, you know, people just being negative or having something to say or anything like that, because I feel like the only way I can grow is by constructive criticism. If I'm doing something that's probably a little bit off to some or looks right to most, I'm really go with the majority on that one. But, and also I'm not gonna, you know, take the concealer and go across my top lip this time in this video, like I normally do, you know, to get that, you know, because she be fuzzing and stuff. We ain't got time for all that. We need to blend that out there, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take the beauty sponge, which is like super duper soft, and hopefully it even works. And I'm just going to start blending it. Alright, so this is what it's looking like with just 420 applied. It's pretty close to the foundation shade. It gives a bit of a highlight, a natural highlighted look. Like I said, 420 would be perfectly fine if I'm really not trying to be out here, you know, really standing out and letting people know that I concealed. You know, I'm just trying to give a natural beat. Personally, for this look, I don't want to just leave it at this. I want to actually go in with the shade 410 as well. Y'all let me know. Would y'all just, you know, leave it here at this step? This is a pretty natural looking concealing beat that's going on right here. So you all let me know what you would do. I'm going to go ahead and apply the shade 410. And I think, honestly, 420 for the Fenty Beauty Instant Retouch Concealers, I think 420 and Suede from the matchsticks really go hand in hand. They do the same exact thing. Now, as far as blending this out, I'm going to go to my Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. This is just not effective enough for me. This is taking too much time. My fingers are cramping. I can't be down here with it because I'll come up like this. Then we stuck like this for the rest of the day. So we can't be having that. I do want to point out that this does not dry quick at all. You got a little bit of playtime, a little bit of free time to do what you need to do. Talk a little, dance a little, eat a little. Alright, so this is what we are looking like with 410 applied. I do see a difference. I hope you all see it as well. It's a little bit brighter. It's just perfect. I like this shade. 410 is going to be my shade that I use. Now for the contour, it only makes sense to go in with the Fenty matchstick. The matchstick that I'm using is in the shade Espresso. And you can really go really wrong with cream contouring, and that's why I'm really not that big of a fan. You know, I really hope this video is helpful. That's really why I do videos like this, is because I want to be able to help people kind of like save money, let them know, you know, whether or not, you know, this is your shade, this is not your shade, save you the trip. I'm not even near probably close to, you know, the point of getting PR packages and stuff like that. So I really rely on some of the beauty influencers that I follow to kind of give me guidance on what to use and what not to use and what to invest in and what not to invest in. So this is what we're working with after applying that contour. It's a nice warm contour. I love the matchstick in Espresso. Now, moving on to the powders. I'm going to be setting my under eye and my overall face. Therefore, I did buy 2 of the powders. The 2 powders that I purchased are both the Banana and the Nutmeg. I really liked how Jackie Aina applied it. She definitely stated a little will get you a long ways. So I'm going to be really light with applying both powders, especially the banana powder, because I hate looking casket ready and I don't want any of that to take place. And what I'm going to do is take a little bit on the sponge like that, and I'm just going to press some of it off on my hand because we don't need a lot, and then I'm going to apply it. And the excess that I have on my hand, I'm just going to dab into that. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. She says use it with caution. I'm using it with caution. And just using just that little bit on my face, I think that's pretty good. Like, I do see that this is like a brightening powder rather than just a setting powder. I went ahead and purchased the powder brush, which is super soft. And I'm so happy I invested in it because it's really good. And I'm just going to take a little... Well, I'm going to take a little bit of Nutmeg, the little bit that fell on my table in front of me, and I'm going to go ahead and just set the rest of my face. Nutmeg is a pretty good shade. Shout out to Jackie Aina because she got me right. Yeah, so I'm going to mix Fez Up and Saffron together, which is that purple and that pink shade, as my blush. Just going to go ahead and highlight the apples of my cheek. Well, not highlight, but you know what I'm saying. And I'm gonna take my finger and just... Now, I don't want it to look like a bruise on my face though, so I'm gonna probably go back in with a little bit of this. Somebody even snuck me while I was doing my makeup. Can't do that. Alright, so I'm gonna go back into this palette and grab the shade Morrocan Ice. It's a nice white, glitter, chromy, metallic shade in this palette. And I'm going to place this on my inner tear duct. I think what I like about the Morrocan shade is it appears to be like super white when you look at it in the palette, but outside of the palette, I don't know, I think it's considered like a dual chrome. It has like other colors in it. Like, this is really pulling pink, All right, so next we are going to move to the lips. Now for the lips, I'm just going for a bold, glossy lip. I'm just gonna go ahead and remove any excess lip gloss that I may have had on my lips. Starting off with this lip, I'm just going to step outside of Fenty for a split second, and I'm going to line my lips with the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in the shade Club Hopper, and I'm just going to heavily line my lips heavily. And I also kind of want to make my lips appear more fuller, so I'm going to be on the rim of my lip a lot more, top and bottom. All right, so this is what heavily lining looks like when I say heavily lining. Now I'm gonna go in with my Fenty Beauty Matte Moussel in the shade Griselda, and I'm gonna fill in my lips using this. Okay, basically what I'm gonna do is take the Fenty Beauty Diamond Milk Gloss Bomb. So I went ahead and applied the Diamond Milk Gloss Bomb onto a brush, and I'm just going to pat it on my lips, and I'm gonna keep going back in and just make sure that it's all over. And this is what it looks like with the gloss bomb applied. I'm not gonna bat my lips together or rub them together, because then it's really just gonna turn into a red gloss shade, and you won't really see the individual shimmers and glitter and stuff inside of this Diamond Milk Gloss Bomb. Now to finish off my entire face, I also picked up, outside of Fenty Beauty, the Morphe Setting Mist. I really like this, and this is probably gonna be a new favorite of mine. But I'm gonna go ahead and give my face a quick spray. I'm gonna go ahead and get myself together like I normally do for my videos, and I'm gonna come back and close this video out with my final thoughts and all that good stuff. Alright guys, and this is going to be the finished look of everything. I'm actually glad that I was able to get this film for you guys and get to use a full face of Fenty. I have a lot more Fenty products now. Getting into these products, the two concealers that I picked up, the shades 420 and 410. Like I said before, I would most likely just use 410 for my face instead of 420, just because I feel like I'm getting more of a highlighted look with 410 than 420. However, 420 is something that I definitely would keep. Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Foundation is a really good foundation because it's lightweight and it really looks like your skin. Soft matte look, yeah, they're playing no games about that. My face is definitely matte. The two powders are definitely a go for me, but you all could let me know how you feel the banana powder did. I went super light with it, and I think everybody should go super light with it. I'm pretty sure if you do go heavy, there's a way to get out of that mess, but I wouldn't know how to tell you to get out of that. So I would go super light with the powders. I love the shade Nutmeg for my entire face. I'm grateful that they even created this whole powder thing, so now I have a loose powder that I can set my face with. It's a fun thing about makeup when they just continue to make things that kind of make, you know, just your experience with using makeup products just more, I don't know, fun and just easier to do, like stress-free, less hassle. I love the finished look, to be honest. Like, I have absolutely no issue with this face being as matte as it is. I just want to get this information out to you guys. I'm so excited and so happy that I was able to film this for you all. Hopefully I can get this up by Wednesday. If not, then I apologize, but I'm going to try to get this edited and posted out. Make sure you guys check out some of my other videos. I'll make sure to leave videos on the screen probably at the end of the video. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any questions or if you have any suggestions, like I said, I take constructive criticism perfectly fine. I try not to look at it as being shade, but I know shade when I see it, so you're not gonna do that to me. But yeah, once again guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video, and I will see you guys next video. Bye.